Hello there! What? Did I just sound like Good just then? With all his Minecraft videos, I've been watching a lot more Good. That's the only thing only stuff of his I watch. I mean, not just because his other stuff's bad, it's just, I don't know, not into Space Engineers and the other stuff that he does. But anyway, aside from that, hello, hey, this is Mantha, or as a fake. I decided to try something different, but it ended up sounding like someone else. Copyright! I hate copyright. But, yeah, today it's a channel update kind of thing. Except unlike the other two, which were kind of like, what do you want to see? I mean, you can still post what you want to see in the description if you want, but this one is mainly telling you about what's happening with me and the channel and some stuff that's going to be happening on the channel. So, yeah, I tried recording this about a week ago, and I've been pretty busy since. That's why it took me another week to try again, but I think I missed out on a few points last time. Did you hear me breathe just then? I don't know. Is this? Maybe that's good. Um, but yeah, first thing I think I should tell you is the name changes. So with the names, for example, my survival series, Man Fer, you may have noticed that Man Fer is now missing, and instead there's Magic Gears. It's actually the same thing. I decided to change the name because Man Fer, the reason we got the name was ages ago. Skype on Skype, JMHTP once asked me, "Is the Man Fer server on?" And before that didn't actually have a name, so we decided to go with that. But it just sounds kind of crummy, like naming it after me, so we decided to change it to Magic Gears. And with Magic Gears, if you search up Yu-Gi-Oh card Magi Gira Panda, then yeah, that's the guy who we named after. Magic Gears, Magigira. It kind of, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's spelled MajI Gire Panda. So is that Magigira? Because that's how I think it's supposed to be pronounced. But yeah, the other name that's changing. Oh wait, mate. There's just one thing I wanted to comment on. So the first Magic Gears episode, I noticed it had a lot more views than the episode before and after it, and I think that was actually because people who were subscribed to me just clicked on it thinking it was something completely new. They didn't realize that it was Mothercraft. So yeah, it's actually got more views than some of the other episodes, which I thought was a bit funny. I can tell. I can tell your behaviour. I can tell what you like. But yeah, that's okay. I mean, not everyone's subscribed to me for my LP. I mean, what would you be subscribed for? You might be someone subscribed from when I did Crack Pack ages ago, which in case you didn't get it, I no longer doing that. Then there's also the map making stuff, which I will do. I plan on redoing one of my old ones because it was kind of crummy, but yeah, I want to redo that one. And there's a few others. There's one which is pretty handy, which keep saying oh, Alpha Steve. But yeah, so I do plan on doing more videos for that. But yeah, the second name change is actually my own name. Yes, I am no longer David. No, I'm joking. My IRL name is still David. It's just my in-game name for Minecraft. So, that has previously been, I've got two accounts, Legit Miner 7 and Searing Shot. Searing Shot was my first one and Legit Miner was my second one, but I decided to use Legit Miner as my main account because the password at the time was hard to change and the Searing Shot wasn't. So that's when I was loaning it back out to Nick Bentley. So yeah, he's got his own Minecraft name now, which is Bentley Speed 81, and that's the same as his channel name. So small shout out, but yeah, he does Downfall parodies. They're funny. Uh, I even hacked his channel once and put up a Downfall parody which I made on his channel. It's a bit different to the rest. I think you can tell which one it is. Um, so yeah, I changed my in-game name from Legit Minus 7 because that sucks. Let's face it. I changed it to Protofall, and there's no real meaning behind it. It was originally going to be Protozone, but by the time I got home after, because I went out on that day, where did I go? I went somewhere. I went somewhere on that day, and while I was out, this was like 4th of February when the name changes were introduced. I fought Prozone, and by the time I got home, it changed to Proto Fall, which I think sounds a bit better, like Protocol, Protofall. So there's a few funny things. I heard my phone. No, no. Sam will love that part. So yeah, and that does mean that I do plan on changing the channel name from True Mantha to Protofall or something along those lines. And the reason is the reason why I'm abandoning the name Mantha. I mean, not for all things. Like my Steam account is Mantha, and I'm not going to bother changing it because it's not really that important to change my Steam since I don't go on it that often except for Portal and stuff. Now I can hear me. I don't know. But yeah, the reason I decided to change is Mantha. When did I make that username? I first made it, the first time I ever used it was for my PlayStation 3 account online. And for those of you who are wondering, the only reason I have a PS3 is because my uncle actually bought it himself, and then he got bored of it eventually, so he just gave it to me. So if he bought an Xbox 360, I'd have an Xbox 360. So no favoritism just then. And actually, the other day he actually rang me to ask for it back after how many years it's been, I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty funny, and I just don't use it anymore, so I'm gonna give it back to him. So yeah, on the PS3 I was called Mantha, and that's the first time I ever used it. It was my first proper online name. I mean, before that, didn't really have a good name, I don't think. But yeah, when I went to actually create it, I opened up a Word document. I typed in a round letter, and it just happened to be M. And then I copied out 5 times and put all the vowels after it. So I got M-A, M-I, M-O, M-U, M-E. And then after I add something which made it look like a word. And one of those 5 was Mantha. I can't remember the other 3, but I think the M-A was Mafia, which sounds too much, yeah, too much like Mafia. So obviously I wasn't going to choose that. And so I chose Mantha. It does sound a bit original, but when you kind of dissect it, Men Fer, it doesn't really sound that original. So basically, I just don't really want to keep using it. I've had that name for so long, it just doesn't feel original. I wanted a name which felt like Aerofoils. I mean, Aerofoils sounds like a word, but not really. And same thing with Protofall, so that's why I ended up with that. So yeah, in a few weeks, I'm gonna change my channel name to Protofall. I'm not gonna do it instantly, so in case you know me as True Mantha, and you follow me closely and you see Protofall in your subfeed, you won't be really confused or anything. So I'm going to keep it as TrueMath for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to change it. If I can. I'm not even sure if I can. But yeah, I felt like I rambled on about about the name changes for too long, but yeah. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention in my previous recording is why my YouTube is called True Mantha rather than Mantha. And that's because when I went to go create my YouTube, which was a while after I created my PSN, it must have been sometime 2012 or earlier. I actually uploaded one video in 2012. If you go look at my oldest video, it says 2013 January, which was that Black Ops video. If it's not there, then that means I've decided to take it down since then. But yeah, I used to have a video in 2012. I might still have it on my PC, but it was just terrible quality and very laggy towards the end, so I decided to delete it. Probably should have privated it, but oh. And I think there was a few more other videos which I uploaded back then, but yeah, they all sucked, so that's why I removed them. But yeah, with True Mantha, the reason I chose True Mantha over Mantha was because Mantha was taken, and it turns out it was actually a deleted account, and yeah, it turns out Mantha is actually an acronym for something like Men's Something Health, or I can't even remember. I mean, that's health isn't the title, but it's an acronym for something. If you Google search Mantha, then you'll see. But yeah, for that reason, I chose True Mantha because like I made the name myself. All others are fake, and hence the intro. That's where the intro comes from as well. Hey, this Mantha, all others fake. So yeah, in case you wondered, that's that. I felt like I had an idea just then, but I forgot it. But I'm gonna move on. So, headsets. A while ago, I made a video talking about how my headset broke. That was my Microsoft Live Chat LX3000. I memorized that. And I've had it since episode 22 of season 1, whenever that was. It was before 2014, but it was yeah, it was sometime during 2013, I believe, because the last episode of 2013 was episode 27. Um, because that was the Xmas special, Christmas special, whatever. Um, so, what train of force? Yes. So then after that, I actually bought the exact same headset that Bentley has, and yeah, it was a slightly cheaper one. It was meant to be a backup while I waited for my main headset to get replaced. And yeah, the warranty on the headset, because it was only like 18 months old, it could actually be covered. Well, 15, what did I say in the video? I can't remember. But it was covered by the warranty because it was like 3 years or something. So that got sorted, and while I waited for my headset to come back in again, I bought the same headset as Nick, which I actually used to record the dragon fight. I didn't mention that in the video, but yes, I used that headset in the dragon fight. So if you notice a difference, that's why. And actually, let me check my videos while I talk and see if there was any other videos after then. It doesn't really matter, but I just want to say if there is. Um, no, no, I think that was the only video where I used the headset. The one before it was "What Have You Made Me Do" or something like that, with the thumbnail of a dirt man. uh, but yeah, I did see the suggestions, and yeah, now that I've got my a clone of my main headset back, uh, eventually I am going to upgrade from this. I might get a desktop microphone, or I might get an actual better headset. I'm not too decided on that. Iridium Axel did give some ideas. Interesting thing with the backup headset, a few days after using it, the left earphone became really dodgy. You had to jiggle it around to get it to work, and then it would stop working after some time. It's like a few days after buying it. That's terrible. So I'm gonna have to talk to Dick Smiths about it. It's my backup one, so I don't mind too much. But still, 2 days, 2 days. I mean, a year maybe. Well, a year. Yeah, I would expect that, I guess. But 2 days, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I think I mentioned all the points there. So the next one is, can you actually hear the clock on my desk? I've now got a desk clock. Oh, I'm getting so distracted, but yeah, it's making a ticking sound. I think I might have to move into a different room when I sleep, because that's probably going to irritate me when I try to sleep. But LPs. So I can't remember what LPs I've done on my channel. I mean, I've done survival on different worlds, 2 different worlds. I've done map making with commands. I've done capture the banner, and yes, I haven't forgotten about that. And I've also done a bit of a mod pack, which was the crack pack. I think most of it, I don't think I've done any series outside of Minecraft. I've done a few videos like Portal 2, for example, but other than that, nothing. So, yeah, with LPs, on the final day of March, 31st of March, there's going to be a mod coming out for Portal 2 called Portal Stories Mel, and it's been in development for like 3 years, and it looks about the same length as Portal 1, but with the detail of Portal 2, so I'm really excited for that, and I want to LP that. So, yeah, Portal Stories Mel, that's going to be something coming around the beginning of April. Depends how busy I am. I'm not too sure what day the 31st of March is going to be, whether it's going to be like a Wednesday or a Saturday, because depending on that will depend when I'm actually able to record and upload. So you might not get it on the 31st, but Portal Stories Mel, it's pretty much set. It's set in a time. With Portal 2, what it was originally supposed to be was going to be a prequel to Portal 1, and there was a few details they gave about it, but then they decided to go with the Portal 2 sequel. And there's even hints to a prequel in the Portal 2 games if you play it through. I won't say where, but yeah. And so Portal Story Mill looks like it's going to take place in what should have been the prequel. It's like the prequel we never got. And it even has the main character Mel, who was supposed to be the main character of the prequel, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about it. There's a tram! You can see that in the trailer, I guess. But after that, I do have a bit of a list in front of me of some games I do want to LP after that. So, there's a few on here. Some of them have question marks, but some of them don't. Last time I did this, there was actually one missing from this list, but I don't know if I've added it since. But the next game I'm going to LP is actually a console game. I actually do know that this can be bought on the PC, but I've got a copy on console, so I'm going to use that. And I mean, with most games, I prefer controllers. I mean, Minecraft, no, and Portal 2, I'm actually decent with it on PC, so maybe I could play any game on PC, but this game I've already played it once before, once at least, I should say. Uh, but that doesn't mean I've done it more than one. I'm just confusing you. Yes, you see. Yes. Sounding like Richtofen then. But where was I? I don't know. But with recording consoles, I mean, it's not as easy as recording computer. Uh, Currently, if I was to do console recording right now, I would need to plug in my old PC, the same PC that generated the world for Season 1 Mantha. I'm going to call it that because in Season 1 it was always known as either Nothing or Mantha. So I'm going to refer to Season 1 as Mantha. So it's the same computer that generated that world and hosted it for 20 minutes before it crashed. So that gives you an idea of how good that computer is. It's got some hardware which we tried, me and Tav, when we were setting up this main computer, we tried to attach it into here. We actually got it fitting in, but it's just outdated. I mean, this old computer is a Windows XP and my main computer is a Windows 8.1, so it was outdated and it just doesn't work. So using that hardware, I can plug my uh, GameCube, Wii, and what's the other one, PS3 into it, and yeah, I can play it through there. But being old software, last time I tried to use it, I tried to get the audio to go through the headphones, but I couldn't. And yeah, if I had a microphone, you'd get the audio coming in through the headphone and the actual games. That would really annoy most people. So yeah, I need to get some new hardware for the main PC so they can play console stuff and get it set up. So yeah, this second game I'm gonna play, I'll give you a few teasers. Uh, it's this game. This game was first released on the Dreamcast. So if you don't know what the Dreamcast is, I don't really blame you. I believe it was Sega's last console. Um, for a second, I was going to say I didn't actually know any other Sega consoles, but I do. So it was on their last console, but it was also released on other consoles because, as my friends would know, I don't own a Dreamcast. So the consoles I do have are, well, should I include handhelds? Well, it's not a handheld, I'll give you that. So the consoles I do have is the GameCube, the Wii, and the PS3. And so I either have that game on one of those three. I think that's it. I'm gonna say for that game until I actually start LPing it. I mean, with these LPs, if no one watches it, it's fine. I just want to play them. I could really just play them and not record them, but I know there are some people who would like to watch it, so that's why I do upload them. Same thing with Magic Gears. But any more dot points there? Oh yes, Omega Ruby. I'm not too sure if I've addressed this, but in late season one, I did mention I was going to do an LP of that, but it never ended up happening, and that's just because, well, I didn't get the capture system for that, and I kind of would prefer not to LP a game which has just come out like that. It kind of like hinders my progress, and with all the spoilers on the internet, I really, unfortunately, I hate I hate it how Game Freak actually, before the game was released, they told you that you'd be fighting Deoxys. I mean, if I didn't know that, that would have been an amazing reaction. It would have been like, instead, the amazing reaction which I had during a Mega Ruby was actually when I got to. Should I even say that? That might be a spoiler for someone who hasn't played it, but I got to a certain location which, yeah, when I got there, it was like, whoa. Uh, if you have played the game, you probably won't know what I mean by that. But yeah, that's as much as I can really say about that. And yeah, I think that's all from that point. And then there's future episodes. There might be some stuff listed here, not listed here. So episode 38 is the next episode, and yeah, I thought for a second 37 wasn't, but it is. That's a dragon episode. But episode 38, it's going to take some time just because of what it is, and yeah, I've got to rethink some things because I've realised some things in it aren't possible. I'm being vague for a reason, by the way. Um, but if you look back to season 1, episode 38, there was something that happened there which is going to be happening in episode 38, season 2. So if you do want to try and figure out what's happening, then that's that. And if you can hear that sound, it's actually blue tack, which I'm trying to get all the blue tack off my lamp. It's just, I stuck it there ages ago for some reason, and now it's all off. Well, not really, but yeah, close enough. So yeah, episode 38 will take a while. Episode 39, I think will be more of a. I'm not gonna say it because that will kind of tell you what episode 38 is gonna be. Episode 40, that's gonna be a fun one. I already have in mind what I'm gonna do for that, and it's gonna be fun. Um, then there's another video which I do plan to upload where I showcase the best picture ever. Some of my friends actually have seen that picture, and it's just the best. I've got to find a certain file on the internet that I need for that. I say file, but you probably know what I mean now when I say file on the internet. And there's going to be a new series, which isn't an LP series. Yeah, I don't know when it's going to come because reasons, but yeah, it's going to definitely be fun when it starts. And then Capture the Banner. I am working on version 1.1. Right now, there are a few bugs with some of the settings, and unfortunately, I'm terrible with Tell Raw. So that's going to be. I really need to get that Tell Raw problem fixed out because I need a clickable event in my book. It's a necessary part of the game now. So I'm gonna ask my local, not local, favorite forum about it. See if they can help me out. I found a Tell Raw generator, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I think that's everything I covered. Hope this isn't too long, and I'll see you next time. Bye.